post on the social.
Can you hear me right clearly?
Yeah. Okay, posting.
Man, what a shocker of the week.
Why?
I don't know, points, but if there's no seller.
Oh yeah,
geez.
I know. Are you able to just check the stream, have it open on the side and just see how it goes? Yeah.
Yep.
And if you see any questions as well, because on the chat.
True, good point. Yep, I mean,
sweet.
It says starting soon, but nothing's.
Yeah, you see the starting screen, right? Yeah. Okay, let me also just get it up. Okay, sweet. Chat is open on my side as well. All right, let's do this.
How did you know?
Okay, here we go. What is up, everyone? Welcome to the new FPL podcast Game Week 2 video. I'm joined with Rushant for now, and then we'll have Abin also, who will join in the middle later. So if you see the screens changing a bit, it's because of that. So let's get started. Rushant, how you been?
Good, man. Good. Just, end of another week of football and on to the next one.
Yep. And it has been probably, in terms of football excitement, I think the United game it had all types of emotions. But in terms of our FPL scoreline, that had only one emotion, and that was...
You can see the red flags in our screen.
Yeah, the red flag. Like all three of us, you'll see that red flags. But let's get started into the topic today. And today's topic, we're going to be looking at Game Week 6 in general, captaincy, because I think there's a lot of captaincy debate, probably 3 people as options. If you haven't checked my captaincy video, do check it later. And also some squad discussions, because we have like defenses and midfields that are not performing, and maybe want to look into that. So the agenda for today: managers' teams, season ticker, team defense. We'll look at certain deadly defenders. We'll look at the team's attacks, the midfield players that we probably want to look at, and then generally the best of the rest in terms of stats, who are dominating the area. And then we'll have a captaincy discussion, some price changes, and our panel team, which is also in a state of disaster at this point. Now, I was going to start with Abin, who isn't here at the moment, because he's the one who got the highest team out of all 3 of us. And just for the sake of the podcast, anyone who's listening, I'll put it out as well. So he had Foster, Veltman, Aileen, Shaw, Semedo, Rafinha, Jota, Benrahma, Gray, Salah captain, and Ronaldo. And 62 points, not too bad. And Trent, Antonio on the bench. And I'm believing Antonio will come in for his next week. So we'll see. When he comes in, maybe we might be able to get me to speak a bit more about it. Next up, Rushant, second. 58 points. And for the podcast, he had Sanchez in goal, Eric Dyer, Martial, Duffy, Livramento. Probably Livramento came off the bench, I would assume.
Yep.
Rafinha, Jota, Salah captain, Gray, Ronaldo, and Jimenez. And Trent on the bench, and Ferran Torres also on the bench.
So obviously there is probably the most expensive for me so far, where my bench, the value of my bench was really high. So what's that, 7, 8, almost 20 something million, 25 million. Quarter of my value was in the bench. And that's unfortunate because Torres didn't play. Trent got sick, and Antonio, we obviously know who didn't play, which I was fine with. Got lucky with Duffy and Livramento, who are on my bench, who came on and kind of pushed my points, which is really good. And I was happy with that, with my 4.1 million defenders. Eric Dyer, I was kind of glad he started, because if not, I would have had no 11th player. So even though the 1 point is still something. But yeah, I think the most shocking one here was Martial for me, where he was a differential for me last week. He was just terrible. I watched the Wolves game, which is not the ideal start for my weekend. Prime time, and it's like he wanted to get the yellow card for that particular game week.
He just dragged Ivan Toney down.
He got the warning, and he still pushed it, which wasn't ideal. But apart from that, Jimenez again is blanked once again. I don't know about this Wolves team. Like the way they played against Brentford was terrible. yeah, I mean, we'll talk about what I'm going to do with my Wolves players in the future. But apart from that, Salah was a saving grace to a lot of people's teams. And Rafinha got a freaky long-range goal, which got very lucky with.
That Rafinha goal is like the difference between some like my points and like everyone else and generally.
Rafinha and Benrahma both had deflections and all like this weird long-range goals, which
I'm taking the Benrahma. It's a 10-pointer. He got a 10-pointer against United.
Yeah, but Ronaldo's still scoring. Again, he still scored more goals than Arsenal.
Oh yeah, exactly, right? Dude, and he should have had like at least 2 goals, like a penalty at least. So yeah, crazy. We'll see. We'll come to that discussion as well in terms of captaincy. And then my team, I had 54, probably my worst score at the moment for the start of the game. I had Sanchez, Soufal, Aylin, Semedo, Shaw, no returns basically. Sanchez lost his at like the last few minutes. I had Greenwood, Benrahma, Doucouré, Jota, Salah captain, Ronaldo, and Antonio and Trent on the bench. Yeah, I bought in Doucouré and I sold Mbeumo, and this had to be the week that Mbeumo decided to score his goal.
That's crazy.
So 6 points lost on that, but
I think overall it's fine because you still haven't used your wild card yet, and
no, I haven't.
You got the players pretty much where you know you got good fixtures.
I'm trying to delay my wild card use as well. So let's see. And yeah, Doucouré has Norwich upcoming, so let's see if he can return in that. But I think there's going to be a lot of discussions in terms of who do you have in your midfield? You have Jota. Oh, you have only Jota and Ferran Torres, right? Yeah. You have Jota, Ferran Torres. I have Greenwood, Diego Jota. And we're going to have these questions of, are these guys performing? What are we going to do? All of that.
It's a big issue in midfield now going forward.
Yeah, that's the thing. And it's bringing up this question of, should we, because of the midfield and we don't have that player who's probably shouting in our squads like, I need to be here over 3 premiums in terms of Lukaku, Salah and Ronaldo. I think we'll have that discussion. We'll see how it goes. Season ticker for the next 5 game weeks. Leeds right on top. But, oh, look at that. Abin, just in time. Okay, hold on. Give me a second, lads, because... where is Abin? Okay. He's moved the camera as well. So let me switch. Oh, no. Everything is all over the place. Abin, I can't see your camera. Okay, this is where things get complicated. Here we go. Rashant is ready. Rashant is on double.
Yeah, I'm everywhere. This is on the move.
This is on the move editing. Don't do this at home, people. I can't see Abin's
he's still not.
Cam. Yeah.
He's not connected yet.
But at least let me perform and get it ready. Oh, there we go. This is on the move editing. Oh no.
No pressure, right? No pressure. It's not like people are watching.
No pressure. I know, right? And it's not like I can't even edit it. There we go. Hopefully, we have Abin.
Yeah, I'm here.
I can't see your camera. I can't see your face. There we go. Oh, look, it looks good. Okay, that on the move, last minute editing has.
That's pretty impressive, Ryan. Pretty impressive, Ryan.
Yeah.
Inviting people onto video. Just
in the middle of this thing. All right. So Abin, you joined just in time. We were just discussing. We just discussed our teams. Do you want to talk about your team? You got the highest out of all of us.
What is this, last week's team?
Yeah, this is last week's team.
Did I get the highest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's not that's not a high standard then. we were all pretty poor.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I thought I just had a poor week. I can't believe that it was the highest among us because I dropped Son for the week. Firstly, because I still don't know the status of his injury until when I made the change. But in the end, he did end up playing, but he didn't do anything, so that's good. So to get, I only had one person in mind, and it's Jota. But the only way to get Jota was to drop a Liverpool player, so I brought Samira in, and then they both failed me anyway. So I have a -4, and I got 3 points from them all, both. No, 4 points.
So wait, you lost Simikas?
Yeah, I lost Simikas.
Oh no!
How many points did he get?
Yeah, 5. I think
He got 5.
Yeah.
Oh well,
Oh, wow.
that is. I don't know what the plan is with Tsimikas, how they're going to rotate him and play him.
Yeah, that was insane. Liverpool was just insane. What the hell?
They rotated both the full. Oh well, Trent was injured, and then Tsimikas also played for instead of this one, Robertson.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, I just wanted 5 playing midfielders, and I wasn't going to take the risk with Son again because I've had a couple of weeks of just 0 points from that. So I want to move to a 3-5-2 because I've been playing 4-4-4-2 or whatever till now. So I'm still okay with the decision. I mean, Jota has to come right eventually, right? It's been a while and he's not done.
I mean, we're about to have a discussion of what do we do with Jota, Ferran Torres, and Greenwood. So we'll see because they haven't really been performing in the last few game weeks.
Well, Gray's been good for me, so I've had him a couple of weeks now.
Gray, yeah. The cheaper midfielders are okay. It's just that mid-priced midfield option, and with the likes of Ronaldo, Lukaku, all of there. So we'll have that discussion and see what happens.
Did anyone get green arrow this week?
No, all 3 of us are on red.
Right. Okay.
So interestingly, whenever Roy is on the podcast, the next week the upcoming week he does well, and then when he's not on the podcast, he goes down. I've noticed that. So we'll see what happens to him this week. So the season ticker, Leeds right on top, but Leeds are having so many injury issues at this point that they're losing defenders.
Is it?
Yeah, and then we've got Chelsea up next. So there is that talk of like Chelsea is going to be a team to target. Southampton, Everton, Leicester, Watford, Newcastle. I just look at that and I'm like, no one really inspires me from that teams at the top, really.
James Ward-Prowse.
I remember Rushan had James Ward-Prowse last season and the guy delivered.
He delivered when it was the right time in a double game week or something. So.
Why aren't you inspired by Chelsea?
No. Apart from Chelsea, everyone else, I'm not inspired. Yeah. Chelsea, I think Chelsea are the ones, and we'll have that discussion. But for game week 6, at least Chelsea aren't the ones. Probably after game week 6.
Yeah.
And then
besides the guys that we have in Leeds, I mean, who else would?
Yeah, I don't know. That's the thing.
Who else has been doing okay in Leeds this season?
Not been no one yet. But in the sense that Leeds have had. They haven't had the best fixtures to start off with, obviously. You'd expect them over this next 5 game weeks to actually be their best run in terms of so far. See. But I'm just concerned, as you said, defense like Melier last season was much more. The Leeds defense last season was more solid. But you're right, with injuries. Ayling's injured now as well, isn't he?
Yeah, that's what apparently. So there's a lot of injury.
And you're the Dallas that was just had a crazy season.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. But we would expect Leeds, like if you have Leeds assets, I think maybe keep them and see. At least if you have like a Rafinha or a Bamford, keep them for now. And also you probably Bielsa will update on his press conference in terms of what the injury situation is. So no need to panic too far. But yeah.
Well, let's see how Everton go. I mean, it was
that's what Everton also.
It was a big loss there to Aston Villa over the weekend.
But they don't have Richarlison as well, right? Everton. So
yeah, they had was it Rondon, I think.
Yeah, and so they have Townsend also back. So let's say he's the one who's performing. He scored a goal and assist as well in the Carabao Cup yesterday. Yeah. So something to keep.
It's funny if you
lost, right? They still got kicked out though. Everton's still out though after the Carabao Cup, right?
I think so. Yeah, they lost 2. There was 2-2, and then this.
Penalty shootouts. They lost in penalties.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. Yeah. So and Luca Digne is out, injured, gone after a crazy week for him as well.
He scored as well, didn't he? Digne scored as well. He doesn't score in Premier League. Doesn't scores in every other cup.
And now he's injured. So oh well. And United right at the bottom there, along with the likes of Aston Villa, Brentford, Palace, even Brighton right at the bottom. So we'll have to see. City, Tottenham. So these are a few things to consider, I guess. So let's look at the defense, because I think defense. So Norwich right on top as the whipping boys in terms of who you want to target to get. And we saw Sarr kind of like deliver on that. He was able to capitalize on the fact that Norwich was pretty bad. Arsenal there, and this is last 4 game weeks, by the way. Arsenal, I think in the last 2 game weeks, though, have kind of improved a bit better. But we'll continue to see Arsenal, Newcastle, Leeds. Again, their defenses is all over the place. Leicester, very similar as well. And then if you look at the bottom of the table, City, Liverpool, Brighton, pretty solid defenses. so far. And Chelsea, interestingly, not a very strong defense. At least they're conceding big chances. Like even the Aston Villa game 2 games ago, they should have probably considered a goal. But so far they've been like keeping the most clean sheets. So we'll see.
Surprising to see Brighton's there, and they're a top 4 team right now.
Oh yeah, top 4 team. Look at that.
The top 4. So, I mean, people are questioning, should you have Sanchez? Yeah, you should have Sanchez. He's a top 4 team goalkeeper at 4.5.
That's what. So we'll see. Abin?
Yeah, United haven't kept a clean sheet, have they? 1 goal in each of the 5. I feel like Luke Shaw hasn't lived up to that. Everyone's, the template player. 50+% people own him. He hasn't delivered at all yet.
There was a goal overturned, right? Luke Shaw assist last game.
He got an assist.
Assist. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So he's had a few. He's had like bonus points and attacking kind of returns, but no clean sheets, which we kind of expected that United. Like we expected when we got Shaw, it's clean sheets, and on top of that, attacking returns. Which hasn't been the case. And now they're about to enter probably one of their worst runs. And I guess that's where...
let's see how these worst runs go.
That's also true.
I think of a couple of weeks ago and we were talking about, Chelsea's horrible run of fixtures. They came out
and they kept clean sheets.
Right? They went really well. And it's like too bad none of us own any of their players.
Yeah. And you know what? I agree with you in the sense that Ronaldo is in hot form and he is the best player in the league at the moment. Or he's the best player. And
stats wise,
So, that's the thing, Roche. Because that's what I was seeing. I saw. I was watching a thing on Sky Sports on United last season had I think 7 or 8 0-0 draws. And if you just had to convert at least half of those, we might have won the title. So that's what everyone is kind of talking about is Ronaldo being that difference player in those big moments. Just to get that 1-0 wins or whatever, because that's crucial for us.
So. We also saw that in like the week last week. Like we thought the game was going to be a draw until the end where Lingard scored, and that was a massive. Like what was happening last season was we were 1-1 and we ended the game 1-1. We didn't have that last minute goal. We didn't have that fire at the end, which I think Ronaldo's kind of sparked across the whole team and elevated everyone. I'm excited, and I think you're right. The hard run of fixtures, it might not be as hard as it seems. Like United probably still win a lot of the games, but it won't be as heavy scoring, or like it won't be like a 5-0 win.
And there's also that question of people are like, it's going to be easy swap to Ronaldo to Lukaku come game week 7 or game week 8. I don't think it's going to be an easy swap.
It's not. I think I was planning on doing that. Rush, do you have both of them off your wildcard?
No. I still have. My plan was to swap Ronaldo to Lukaku in week 7 as well, but now I'm just like. I'm trying to find ways to fit them both. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm looking at
that's what I was like. Because he had 7 shots.
You can just bring Bruno back in and let us keep Ronaldo.
You can Bruno's in fire too, honestly.
Yeah. Ronaldo had 7 shots at 55 minutes in that game, and the next person was on 3 in Benrahma.
Yeah, but Ronaldo does have a lot of shots, but he always has a lot of shots. Whenever he gets the ball, he goes for a shot because.
He was unlucky with penalties. I think one of those should have been a penalty over the weekend. I know all of them. 3 opportunities, but
funny enough, when you were unlucky, who got unlucky? Ronaldo or Bruno got unlucky with penalties?
Oh yeah, we still have to see who was taking it.
Yeah, we still have to see, but I have a feeling it was Ronaldo. The way he was like. Hands up in the air and everything.
I think I saw something else where Bruno was saying something about Ronaldo is a senior in the squad, and like he's happy with whatever the team wants.
Give it to the senior. Yeah.
So I think everyone's talking about Bruno being really good. When Ronaldo comes in the team, everyone just like moves away. Like yes, sir.
Yeah, that's the thing. So we'll see. I think Bruno has the free kicks. It's just that penalties that we're not sure yet. Yeah. We'll see how it goes. So continuing on defenders, right? This is the defensive list for the last 4 game weeks, and Reece James is still there, even though he didn't start. And we don't know what's going to happen with regards to like Reece James and everything, right? That's something that I think we need to kind of wait and see on how it performs, like how it goes ahead.
Trent? Is he?
Trent, I think Trent was just sick, right?
Is that it?
He should be back next week.
Yeah.
The thing with Reece James, so I was a bit confused as well. So I mean, he was a player I've been looking at even during my wildcard as well. I did my wildcard in week 4, so it was a bit too early for me to bring in Reece James in. But he is definitely a player on the top of my watch list on defenders. What happened last weekend? Why did he start?
Rich James, I have no idea.
Because that put a lot of doubt.
But then they could be because his house got
robbed
burgled as well.
Psychological
Robbed
reasons.
at I mean,
That's
I don't
what
know.
I thought
He might
too.
have not just
I thought that he's still like recovering
mentality-wise.
from some like PTSD or whatever.
Yeah. So I don't know.
But Aspilicueta, I think the other thing I saw was that because they played back three with Christensen, Rudiger, and Thiago Silva's back from injury as well.
Yeah.
So all this time before Thiago Silva as played centre back. So was it the fact that was Reece James playing right back until Thiago Silva came back from injury, and is going to be the future? Is he going to be the starter with the Reece James being the backup? Like, will Reece James be the Chilwell? That's the thing that's worrying me right now. Because we thought starting season Chilwell, the way he played last season, like he's going to be guaranteed a starter, right? Yeah. So people did not. I doubt people brought in Alonso for week 1 because everyone knew that Chilwell was going to start. So that would be a big concern, like, in the sense that is he nailed in as a starter every week going forward?
Yeah, fair enough. We'll have to wait and see. And also, who else is... Okay, so this was Now, what I wanted to see, the slight difference was compare... Because over the last 2 game weeks, a few teams have improved. So I kind of went and looked at the last 2 game weeks as well. And interestingly, look who pops up right up top. Alonso. I took this price before. Now he's 5.8, so he's gone up in price. Keep that in mind. And I was talking with Rushant as well regards to Alonso, right? Because he's like a FPL. He's like basically a second striker for Chelsea at times when they play in that back 5.
Yeah, it's great to watch. I watched that game with Spurs. Accuracy of his crosses and corners and just being in the box at the right time. It's incredible. It's
that's right. And like
I just didn't know where he stood with Tuchel. And it was last season Chilwell was bang on all the time there. So it looks like he might have locked it in. I don't know. I don't know.
It looks like he's sure to lose now at this point.
Yeah.
And also we have Sam in the chat. Hello, Sam. And he's also talking about wildcard.
Honestly, who's the second guy?
Junior Firpo from Leeds. The fullback.
Gee, I must say I haven't been noticing him.
We have so Sam is asking about wildcard till players return from international break. So I think we'll talk about that as well. I think wildcard game week 7, game week 8 probably. I think game week 8 might be a good time to wildcard as well. Just as soon as City are done with their game with Liverpool as well. So probably a time to look at. Aspilicueta also right on top. Shaw still there. If you were to pick a Chelsea defense, who would you go for? Or would you do double Chelsea defender?
You mean after game week 7, right? Yeah. I mean, there's a few interesting options. I think Alonso seems like even though he's gone up in value, he seems like the most deadly defender on top of the list, obviously. He's creating the most number of chances. Rudiger is a cheap option where he scored his goal. I'm like, what is he doing up front? They were up 2-0 and a centre back was in their box taking an open shot.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell is happening right now? And Rudiger, even last season as well, he was a really good value last season. He's pretty nailed on to start every game. He's very he's not injury prone in the sense that he doesn't get injured as much.
Because who is their backup? Who are their backup defenders anyway? Because Zuma is left. Who else?
So they play a back 5, right? With Christensen, Thiago Silva, and Rudiger right there. And whenever needed, they can put Aspilicueta into that centre back pairing. Right now, Aspilicueta is playing like right back. Or right wing back, whichever. Yeah, so that's how I guess they perform in terms of. And then they have Chalabola,
who scored in game week 1 as well. So they have a very deep squad. And I'm surprised that they haven't rotated as much as City have so far. But I suspect that will change as they progress into Champions League and stuff.
That's
and they have the squad, like all these players can start under Tuchel. So I think Chelsea is definitely the team to beat this season.
Yeah. But right now, I think Rudiger is the most certain, but I have my eyes on Alonso as well.
But who are you replacing to these guys?
I mean, like Luke Shaw is going to have a tough run of fixtures, right?
But Luke Shaw is he's only what? Is he 5 million? 5.5?
5.5. So it's an easy swap. That's why. So I think that will be a very straight swap, which we'll see a lot of, probably in game week 7 or 8 even.
Yep.
That's the thing. So that's the defenders. Let's move on to the team's attack. So Liverpool right on top of there. City, Wolves still on top of there, but they're just not like they're the XG monsters, but they're not converting. Then Chelsea, United, West Ham, and at the bottom, Norwich. I wouldn't have thought I would say this, but Tottenham in 19th in terms of expected goals. That's how bad they are performing right now. Newcastle and Watford. So yeah, this is just keep this in mind as soon as we go into look into like midfielders and attacks. Before that, do you all have any questions or any comments on this? Or pretty straightforward?
Yeah, I think for me, Wolves up there is just being the most shocking for me. I banked on Jimenez and all my Wolves players, which I brought in, and they've not delivered much for me. So I'm giving them a couple more chances because mainly because of the fact that I'm just stuck now in a way. But I mean,
a lot of times they hit the post and stuff. I mean, I feel bad.
Traore's one banged, probably almost broke the post as well, but he banged it in. But I was really shocked by Marcel. I think I mentioned it before Abid came as well. That was very, very disappointing to me. I don't know what happened. Was it like a match fixing or something? Because it really felt like he wanted to get red carded. No, seriously. Like if you watched that 2 minutes right before that penalty was given and watch Marcel and what he was doing, it's like he wanted to get fouled. It's like he wanted to get a red card. I was like so disappointed watching the game. I was like, bro, what are you doing, man? Like, oh, stop. I have you on my team. Stop conceding a foul in the box. But yeah, attack-wise, Jimenez tried. Wolves really looked in shambles. Really, the attack was really poor, actually. Brentford, they didn't have many opportunities to attack, but when they did, they took really good advantage of it. Tony was clinical, and Mbeumo was clinical. The defense looked really solid. Wolves just had no answer. I mean, if you look at the second half, possession-wise, I think Wolves had like 80% possession in the last like 20 minutes. They were literally, they had the ball in their last third. They just didn't know what to do. They just froze.
That's the thing, right? Like, look at that, 65 goal attempts, only 2 goals.
It was
8 big chances created. Like the other teams around them are like 9 goals, 11 goals. Yeah. Like, that's the difference. So we'll
what a
see.
shot from Scotland, man. What do we think of them? I mean, Harry Kane is just not on form at all. I think he doesn't seem to be playing. I mean, he's out and out the only striker there, but he seems to be spending a lot of time in midfield and trying a lot of touches and. I don't know. It doesn't seem the old Kane where you can bank on him.
Yeah. So that's what I have no idea. And yeah, Rudiger 5.6. Okay. So Chelsea prices are going up, keep in mind. But I think when it comes to Game Week 7, we'll probably see more rises. All right, moving into the midfield. So we've had this situation of where we're having midfielders not performing. Ferran Torres, Diego Jota. I guess Mason Greenwood has kind of performed except for the last game, and I think Ronaldo should have squared it to him, and Mason Greenwood had a tap in for a goal. But in terms of replacements, right? Mane right on top there, Gallagher, Salah, Ismail Sarr, Pepe also on that list, and we're talking about Pepe last episode as well in terms of Arsenal assets. He could be someone with Arsenal having a decent set of fixtures upcoming. He could be someone to keep an eye on.
Pepe, yeah. I mean, maybe Odegaard. I don't know. Isn't he on that list?
No, not yet. Not yet. But maybe we'll see how it goes in the next 2 game weeks.
Yeah, I think Arsenal have rebounded pretty well compared to their first 4 weeks. I know that we spoke about the last 2 game weeks have been better, but they're playing Norwich and Burnley, so you would expect their stats to be better. And from where they started, anything is better. But I think, right, Pepe is a good option. And I think we spoke about it last week as well with Roy, who's the Arsenal expert. They seem to have nailed it. Like, the defenders are back. They've got Ramsdale starting in goal now, who's been a new excitement for FPL. They've got their primary defenders back. So and that was the biggest concern of Arsenal, was they didn't have their main team and they started new. So, I mean, positive fixtures coming up as well. So, it's not bad for a mid. We're talking about midfielders as well, where we're stuck with that. It could be a punt, that's where you're looking at.
It could be. And like Gallagher right there on second, I'm keeping my Gallagher, looking to find a way to get him in very soon.
Yeah.
Because he's involved in everything.
He's involved in everything. Yeah. It'll be interesting when Vera does give that their new strikers chance as well, Eduard.
Yeah.
He's just been coming off late and he looks okay. In comparison to Benteke.
That's the thing. And like Gallagher sounds like, Joe Willock last season, he just kept scoring and no one just got him because he was Newcastle.
Yeah.
That's basically what it kind of looks like this time. So we'll see how it goes. And also Gundogan, Grealish on there as a City. Are you looking at any City attacking players when their run improves?
Well, it's surprising that Grealish has played every second of 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I think for me, yeah, I've been go. Yeah.
No, go. I was just saying before, it's so hard to predict who's playing, but it seems Pep has been more consistent with some of his selections. Gundogan has been playing more often than not, and Grealish, and so you can kind of almost, you don't know when that's going to stop or when he's going to pull his cards out, because we're still expecting a good run for De Bruyne when he's okay and fit to go. Again, I don't know how Torres and how he's going to go.
Yeah, so that's the thing. We'll see. And Torres started in the game.
Like I like Grealish. Look, he's very involved. I mean, look in the Champions League game, and he's right up there, right? So it's just how Guardiola is going to look after him and his minutes. That'll be interesting to watch.
Yeah, for me as well. I think if you're talking about midfielders, I think I'm probably leaning towards Grealish as well. Mainly for the fact that, I mean, Torres is good. I know he probably got benched last week, so a lot of people will be dropping him, mainly because of the fact that, they've got 2 hard fixtures coming up, and they've got 2 more in a month's time as well, which aren't the best fixtures. But generally speaking, he's off to a good start. He is still that center forward position where he'll play with Jesus a lot. In terms of stability and like guys delivering consistent points throughout the season, I think Grealish is probably looking very appealing, even though he's slightly higher, but he looks to be nailed, right? So far, at least.
So far. Let's see how it goes, I guess. But yeah. Any midfielders you have your eye on?
Is that what you said? Grealish?
Huh? Grealish, apart from Grealish, are you looking at any other midfielders? Like, let's say if, okay, because Rushant has what? Ferran Torres? No, yeah, Ferran Torres, right? And I've got Diego Jota. Abin has Diego Jota. I think Abin's going to keep Jota for now.
Yeah, well, what game week are we on? 6, right?
We're on, this is 6 upcoming.
Yeah, so, I mean, this is all subject to change in a week's time, and it's on 7, and I'm probably hitting the wild card, so.
Okay. So we'll see, I guess.
Look, I'll look at Mount as well, maybe. Just trying to think.
There aren't that many midfielders.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
which is what I think.
I like Trincao is only 5.9 again. But again, I think that's what Rich said earlier. They haven't all performed. They have great chances, and the others.
You know what? Like, I was a big fan of Trincao coming into this last game week, and I don't know, for some reason, I don't know why. Maybe it's XG that really attracts me to as the Wolves players, or maybe it's just cheap midfielders playing as attackers. That's probably another thing as well.
Yeah.
I was actually, if I was to bring in someone over Traore or Trincao, I was leaning towards Trincao more, mainly for the fact that I saw some of his attempts in the previous games and it looked really good. But then what happened in the game week last week, I'm not sure if you remember, but Marcel got subbed out. Trincao moved to the left back, and Podence got subbed in or someone. Yeah, so he, from being a midfielder who's attacking, he got moved to a left back position. That was concerning for me in terms of FPL. Kind of made me view that, okay, Wolves don't really see him as their main attacking option, right? Especially when you're losing, when you're down a game. If you're moving someone from a forward position to a back position, it means that they don't have that trust in him to be the attacker.
Yeah.
And they're probably still relying on Traore way more. So that maybe kind of, Traore is probably a way better attacking option than Trincao.
Yeah. Another thing Sam mentioned in the chat is that City have a tough fixtures ahead with Chelsea, then PSG, then Liverpool. So that's something I guess have to keep in mind as well. That Champions League group is pretty tough for City.
Yeah.
It looks the groups look tough for United losing to boys.
Oh yeah, United's group is also
young boys.
I know that should have won, but that's a different story for another day. But
we will never talk about that ever.
Yeah, we will never talk about that again. So best of the rest, Cristiano Ronaldo. Look at that. Not only is the best player in the league, he's showing it on the stats as well. Like, he's clearly miles just way better than everyone else. Which is why I'm thinking, I need to find a way to fit both him and Lukaku. Lukaku is also on that list. Both him, Lukaku, Salah, and Trent in that list.
I mean, it will take a few iterations that I struggle to think of a balanced team with those four in.
I know, right? But like, see, we're talking about midfielders, right? We're mostly talking about very cheap midfielders as well, like Gallagher as a good option. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's true though, but it's like a lot of these, guys that started okay. What's going to be interesting is how their consistency and for a period of time, right? It's all good and well to do it for a couple of game weeks and be inspiring, but to go for a period of time and tougher opponents, that's
that's the thing.
because
That's the
teams that us three have got right now are good balanced teams that can last every game week if we wanted to. To really put those four in, you're taking a huge gamble.
Yeah.
I
mean, like I can see that certain people feel the heart towards doubling up on Ronaldo or tripling up on Ronaldo, Salah, and Lukaku as well. And it might pay off in some weeks. The game weeks you might have like 35 points from 3 players, right? But like the likes of last week, Lukaku in a game where Chelsea won 3-0, he got 2 points.
Didn't get anything. Yeah.
So that's the risk you're taking on someone at 11.7. When you have someone that expensive in your team, you're looking to captain them. You're looking for them to be giving you good points. So when you have 3 players stuck like that, you're only going to get real returns off the one player you captain. I mean, like if you're going to get, say, for example, last week Ronaldo 6 points, you can get the 6 points from Bamford or someone else who same maximum, right? Who's half the price. But in saying that,
because when you put it like that, it's a different.
in saying that, it is tough. Like if obviously, like we're talking about this right now because of the price point. If the ideal situation, if I can financially afford Lukaku and Ronaldo, there's no question. I'm definitely going to have them in my week for the next 38 weeks or 35 weeks or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But
it's this thing. But like we could be sitting here game week 7, game week 8, and Ronaldo White has got a hat trick, and we're like, now how do we remove this guy? Like the guy is scoring. So, but like
exactly.
Because
and then how do you?
I just have the feeling that
like how are you going to put him and it's like you don't want to lose Antonio with the run he's on as well.
That's the thing.
You
listen to Moyes' words and stuff. He's just like he wants him to be how Ronaldo is, right? And we might have a ruthless season. You never know.
And I'm not sure if you guys watch
those points.
Do you guys watch Ben Foster's YouTube videos?
No.
Sometimes.
He's hilarious. He's so good, right? In his fantasy team, he's got Kane, Lukaku, and Ronaldo.
Why does he have Kane?
He's got Kane,
Ben Foster,
Lukaku, and Ronaldo.
Well, he must not have a good rank.
He's not. He's definitely not. He was captaining the likes of, I don't know, he captained Lukaku last week. I don't know. But I'm just trying to get is like right now, Kane hasn't really performed either, and we're talking about Son coming back from injury as well. So the problem is if Spurs and Spurs have good fixtures, we talked about it before, but Spurs the next 10 game weeks, they've only got 2 hard fixtures. I'm worried about what happens if Son starts scoring.
Yes, that's the thing. That's when we go, we have to accommodate another guy.
That's what I'm saying. Like we're gonna play this game all season long where you're gonna have
to pick your battles. It's like you can't you won't be able to get it. You need to
correct.
Right. See, these are the kind of things you do on your trying to get your highest score for the week or something like that.
Yeah.
It's not going to be sustainable if you want to end up in the top 100K. I
guess my point is with Son, right? Son is a midfielder, okay, and he has the potential to have good game weeks. And I think on the chat as well, Sam saying Son looked good in the first half. Son looked really good. Spurs were pretty good first half. Second half, they're just in shambles where Chelsea just came on top. So I guess taking that risk on tripling up on premium strikers, which is what this whole season is about. Last season, we were struggling to get good strikers and we were going with that strong midfield. This season has changed. The template has changed where from the 5 midfielders, you're going towards more the 3 attackers is your primary focus. You want to have a balance in your midfield too. So if you go with that premium attack, you're going to be stuck with the likes of Gallagher, who's not a bad option right now. And, Gray and all these cheaper midfielders. But are you really that confident that midfielders who have always proved to given you the most points throughout the season, I don't feel comfortable with that, with like loading up too much attack.
Fair enough. That's good.
So, it's interesting.
Yeah. So I think that's the thing we're going to have to keep in mind because even though we have those 3 expensive players, switching around is going to be much more harder. You're going to have to start taking hits to bring in other players. Whereas if you have a more balanced squad, it's a bit more easier to move players about. Okay, so now here's the next question. Captaincy for this week. I think there are 3 legitimate captains in terms of Salah against Brentford, Antonio against Leeds, and Ronaldo against Aston Villa. All 3 have a decent claim at captaincy. I think Salah will probably still be the most captained, but Ronaldo is playing at home, and Aston Villa don't have Tuanzebe as well because he's ineligible to play against United. So Aston Villa will have to find another replacement or play a back 4. And Antonio is playing a Leeds defense, which is like crumbling right now. So who would you look into terms of captaining? Who would you suggest?
Yeah, I mean, you can go first.
I'm going with Ronaldo. I was looking at my team for the next week, and I think I've got him on captain already. Just because it's in spite of a home game, Aston Villa's okay. They had a good win against Everton, but it remains to be seen how they keep going. Salah, again, great choice to do it. He is my vice. I just want to see how Brentford go in the next game weeks because they've had a good start. They've had a good defense record. Let's see how they keep up against a top team now. And who knows? Maybe the floodgates will open and Liverpool will go crazy. But based on their performance till now, I think maybe they'll be rock solid and keep them away.
But they haven't faced a tough.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It remains to be seen. So
thing.
We'll see. They beat Arsenal. If you don't call them top team anymore.
Arsenal, no. I'm sorry, Roy, but no.
I think there's going to be a lot of tinkering around, but it seems like last week and this week the choice is going to come down between Salah and Ronaldo. Even though on paper Antonio has looked, seems like the best option against Leeds. I'm a bit worried about West Ham until they get back into their hot form again, just because they haven't scored the high scoring games in the last couple of weeks recently.
Yeah.
In saying that they do have the talent, they have the stats to back up. So I mean, it's going to come down to Salah and Ronaldo, both of who kept a clean sheet against their teams they played last weekend. So it's tough. It's really tough, right? So Brentford kept a clean sheet. I just think that Liverpool, with the attack they have, should edge past Brentford. Even Villa kept a clean sheet as well. But yeah, it's tough. It's really tough. I think I'll probably lean towards Salah again this week, most likely or not. In saying that,
it's a very close call this week, I think. Because on one hand, you have Ronaldo playing at home, and home teams this season have scored a lot of goals compared to previous season. And then on the other hand, you have Salah and a Liverpool team who are currently the best attack in the league and are just scoring they scored 3 against Crystal Palace without their main sources of outlets in terms of Robertson and Trent not even on the pitch. So that's something to kind of keep in mind. It's going to be a very close call, and I don't think either choice is wrong.
Even Naby Keita scored last week.
Yeah, that's what.
Well, the crazy thing about Chelsea's one, where I got 10 people have already scored for them this season.
Yes, for Chelsea.
What a complete team.
So that's the thing. We'll see. I don't know. For me, I'm currently edging slightly near Ronaldo, mainly because I feel like Tuanzebe not being there. I checked Tuanzebe's stats, and he's very involved with Aston Villa in terms of their defenses. He's one of their main defenders. So I just have a feeling if they're not going to have him, and if they're going to put someone else, it's going to cause a bit of this thing. Or if they switch to a back four.
Yeah, and this just goes to the thing I said earlier about it's a home game. A lot of for United, a lot of what I said last time was they had a lot of their games they drew were at home last season. These are the moments that you hope that Ronaldo comes through and gets you, that has a killer instinct and gets you through.
Yeah, and you're right. I think Ronaldo's only played 1 game at home so far, out of 2 games, and he killed in the first game.
Yeah,
back to Old Trafford. Oh, it looks really juicy.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Still surprised though with Solskjaer play. I thought with Ronaldo and trying to fit it like everyone in, he would move to one defensive midfielders, but he's still keeping 2.
No, he's still playing the 2 defensive.
Yeah, it's but
I mean, that's helping Pogba's stock, right? Pogba is doing.
if I was going, I just want Sancho to get involved now.
Yeah, that's the thing. Same.
Dead start for him. So.
Yeah, we'll see. I think there's a lot to go, and we'll see how it goes. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right, let's try and wrap it up. Let's quickly go price changes. Let me bring up the price changes. I don't know if this is on the correct slide. Who knows? Yes, that is. So Lukaku going up in price, possibly, maybe. Dennis also. Van Dijk, Bissouma, Cancelo. Cancelo is someone we'll probably have to keep an eye on as well when City's fixtures improve. In terms of falls, Martinez, Buendia, Harvey Barnes. Harvey Barnes has fallen off a cliff. Firmino, Cavani.
Did you guys watch the highlights?
Yeah.
Oh my god. 2 goals overturned.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know what has happened to Harvey
did you
Barnes.
see the miss that Jota had over the weekend?
Oh,
Yes, oh my god.
the last 2
Jota's
weeks,
missed.
even.
Yeah, Sam also has mentioned, oh my god, Jota.
He's been.
Why? I hope he scores this week. Let's see. Anyways. Otherwise, he's on a tightrope.
Yeah.
So that's just the price rises. And finally, to end it off, the panel team, which is why we have Abin also here, so that he can kind of hopefully help us in
We
this
talked a
panel
bit
team.
about Aubameyang, potential Aubameyang.
Oh yeah, Abin, we told you about the Aubameyang situation.
What have you people done?
So we were thinking of bringing Aubameyang. I guess thankfully we didn't. Pickford is kind of injured out, but luckily we have Foster, so he should hopefully start the next game. So let me just put in the team, and then we can decide kind of.
Who's to say Foster's going to start? Yeah, I know he replaced Bachmann that last week.
I don't know. I'm just assuming because he started the last game.
I think he is because I mean, again, I watched the Ben Foster video and he kind of said an apology.
Goodness me, it looks like getting close to starting to wildcard this team. Dean is
I know, right? I think this team is getting close. I think in Game Week 7 we'll probably end up wildcarding or Game Week 8. We have 2 transfers though, so let's make the 2 transfers.
Happy with Bamford, obviously.
Yeah.
It's 3.6 in the bank. Jeez, this is a cheap team. Come on.
We have no premium forwards.
I don't know why there's Dallas in there.
Okay, we need to get rid of Dallas. We've always wanted to get, we just couldn't find the time.
Tony had a good week, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, and we had him on the bench.
We've got no prime striker.
Hold on. So we got 54 points in this team. We had Tony as a 12 pointer on that bench. I'm looking at it. I'm like, why did we put Tony on the bench?
None of us have Lukaku in our team. This team should have a Lukaku. This should have a prime striker. We've got just 3 budget strikers there.
Okay, so shall we get rid of Tony?
We afford Lukaku if we get rid of Tony?
We probably can't. I mean, we can wildcard Lukaku in after the City game.
Well, I think we all. Okay.
So we'll get rid of Dallas. Let's target for this upcoming week.
Maybe get rid of Dallas and someone else.
Dallas and
this Digne. Are we planning to kick Digne out after next week as well? If that's the case, we can
probably not.
We want to keep him in.
United again, so no.
Yes. If he's not going to play this week,
get him out. So who do we want to bring in defense?
Everton's playing Norwich, but okay.
Yeah, but Digne is injured. That's the thing. Who do you want to bring?
Do we have Trent in this team?
We have Trent in this team. Oh, we don't have Trent in this team.
It's too expensive for this team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when we wildcard, we can fix the whole team.
Yeah, true. Who's got good fixtures this week in defense-wise?
Well, look, think of what the starting lineup is going to be. It's going to be. Do we need a really?
Oh, do we need this thing? So let's look at the starting lineup. We have this.
So we're getting rid of Dean.
Yeah, we're getting rid of Digne. We're getting rid of Dallas.
We're gonna start.
And we'll probably take a -2 as well.
Duffy in, I think.
Oh yeah, Crystal Palace.
So we have 3 defenders. We don't need a defender technically.
Ufal, yeah. So I mean, if you want to replace Dean, it's just a dead defender.
Yeah. So let's take Dallas off and probably Smith Rowe. Or even Ivan Toney. We could take Ivan Toney off if we're not going to play him against Liverpool.
Yep. We can. Are we swapping Smith Rowe on the bench? Yeah. So one striker, one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ellen Saint Maximum.
Saint Maximin.
Who's Newcastle playing?
So wait, who do we bring in for midfield?
We can bring anyone, I think.
Who's Newcastle playing? Newcastle playing Watford. Yeah, not a bad shot.
Let's get a striker in first, and then.
And then we have 8.6.
Oh, that's more than enough. So you got.
I mean, you don't want to contradict. You can play Saar against Newcastle, but.
What about Green? Oh, no. See, Leicester. Leicester's playing Burnley. How about Leicester? A punt. Let's bring in Harvey Barnes.
What? No.
Actually, you know what the plan was? Remember the plan was last week was to bring in Vardy in. Do you remember? That's why we said we didn't want to.
Oh yeah, that's why we want to bring Vardy.
We want to bring Vardy in as a striker. Can we afford Vardy? And then someone cheap on the. It's 3-4-3.
4.9.
There's no one at 4.9, right? Midfield. One decent at least.
No one decent per se.
But are we 3-4-3? Okay, we need to start.
I mean, what we can do is we can do this. We can take a hit if we wanted to, and we could go. Maybe does MacArthur play right now?
It's not going to matter too much if you're going to wildcard in week 7. So
yeah, you could. Oh, I mean, doesn't matter.
No, it's just cheap.
Oh, what we could do is we could play a back 4.
Yep. Who's our primary defender? We're thinking Tierney.
Yeah, we could try Tierney.
It's perfect price as
against Arsenal, against Spurs.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good player.
It's 4.92.
It's worth a punt. Yeah, and then play a back 4.
Yeah.
Of Duffy, Tierney, Shaw, and Sofa.
What, 4-4-2?
4-3-3.
4-3-3.
4-3-3. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Which midfield are you?
Grealish, Salah, and Fernandes.
Okay.
Done.
There we go. Confirm transfers. Who do we captain? Salah, right?
Yeah.
I actually wouldn't mind trying Vardy. Vardy actually has been having some pretty good stats. I don't know. We can talk about it, but
okay, we can gamble on it if you want to.
And he's a player who, if you look, I think he's the second highest scoring striker, isn't he? No.
Who?
No. I think. What's Vardy's total points so far? He's got.
Vardy's total points is let me see.
Goals he's got
29.
3 goals and an assist. Yeah, which is pretty high actually. I think have a look at the highest scoring strikers in the forward line.
Let me save this team.
Save first.
Forwards, highest scoring Antonio, and then Vardy second. Yeah.
So I mean,
we could try Vardy.
I don't mind against Burnley.
Sam said Maupay as well, but yeah.
Against the Burnley defense, since everyone is going to captain Salah, and this might be the week for us to catch up. Who knows?
Yeah.
Okay. So we go Vardy captain, Salah will put as vice captain. Do you want to try? I don't think Tsimikas will play this week because I think Robertson will be back. So I'll just put Tsimikas in there.
If he gets subbed out.
Yeah, if he gets subbed off, then Sufa will probably
Has Tsimikas come off the bench for 4 minutes or 5 minutes? Usually?
Just for the one game. That was just after when Robertson was just coming back. Yeah. Apart from that, no.
I mean, West Ham's playing Leeds.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, it's not...
I mean, no, if Tsimikas gets subbed off, it's going to come for Smith Rowe.
3-4-3. Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's fine.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the team. That's how we're going. Thank you all for joining. Thank you, Sam. Thank you. Who else joined here? Fadzil, FPL Rabadaki, and Rushant also was involved in the chat. So thank you all. I hope everyone has a good week. Good luck, Rush, Abin. Hopefully, arrows will be green this upcoming game week.
You too, Ryan.
How's individual leagues looking? Huh?
Who?
Individual
leagues. Okay, if you want, we can have a look into that quickly.
Abin's still the green arrow, right? It's funny, right? I think I got a green arrow in your league, but it's not.
Yeah. So
I swapped one place.
Individual leagues are like a bit of this thing. That's the league. Yeah, Rushan got a green arrow. In terms of Abin is just there as well. Let's look at the Football Chatbox League. So people, there's a code right at the bottom. Join the Football Chatbox League. And we got about, how many players here? We got about 29 and someone else is joining. So we'll have 30. Jiten right on top there. But yeah, so far so good. Individual leagues, we're kind of, for me, it's a lot of reds. But yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Overall rank? Global? What is it?
Who?
Yours?
Yours or
Yeah,
mine?
yours.
Mine's at like 215 something.
Okay.
So yeah, we're all close by.
Yeah.
I think it's just a couple points difference. Like the points gap from me to top 100k is like 10 points.
is it?
Early
So
on, it's pretty.
yeah.
It's pretty.
It's pretty tight. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all for Friday for the team selection live video. Thank you to Rushant and thank you to Abin as well.